Vegans are probably the most annoying people on earth, and they piss me off.
I feel like a vegan has haunted you or done something to you in your life. You just don't have empathy.
You're a hypocrite. I'm not. You will die without meat, man.
Got your mates there.
Yes, Team Carnivore. Body will start eating itself if you don't eat meat.
This is not human. This is not normal.
You're starting to sound more and more like a vegan to me, man. Do you know what the sign says? Tell us what the sign says.
You're saying that you think animal cruelty is okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Because they're not humans, and because lions eat meat, and because, you know, I don't think they're very smart, so what's wrong?
Do you understand why other people find it wrong?
Not really, I think...
You don't understand at all?
No, I don't. Honestly, that's my problem. That's why I'm here.
So if I were to suffocate a kitten right now, would you be like...
If I were to suffocate a kitten right now, would you be upset?
I'd be like, yes.
That'd
be a normal reaction.
Well, explain why.
Because it's an innocent animal that's, you know, minding its own business. Like, I don't mind eating meat. I'll eat meat.
What's meat got to do with this?
No, my point is...
wait a second. What has meat got to do with this?
No, but so me saying animals dying, I'm not like... You kill an animal...
Wait, they don't die for meat. They get killed. An innocent animal gets killed for meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
I see.
But torturing an animal to death,
well,
I think that's wrong.
Wait a second. So, do you think animals don't get tortured when you eat them?
Obviously they do, but
obviously they do.
They do. I know.
Okay. So wait a second, mate. You can't escape this.
Yes,
you brought it up. You brought it up. So, what animals do you eat?
I'll eat anything, to be fair.
Any animal?
Yeah.
A kitten?
Probably not. No.
Wait, you said any. So, where's the lion here?
I think that this is societal. Yeah, I agree with you. There's no reason for not eating dogs or cats, really.
There's no reason.
But.
And if I suffocated the cat to eat them, would that be okay?
Depending on the situation.
So it's okay to torture the cat if I'm going to eat them?
Yeah, but we live in a society where you don't have to torture animals.
I would contest that.
Why?
If you want to eat meat, torture is like part and parcel with it. It comes with it.
Yeah, but that's...
Because how do you think they raise animals for meat?
Yeah, I know, but that's
that's why
veganism.
My uncle's a farmer.
Yeah. Okay.
He has a factory farm. What it's not that you won't eat any animals. You eat all animals: pigs, cows, chickens, fish.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's talk about pigs. How do you think pigs are killed?
I don't really eat pigs, but yeah.
Okay. So, how do you think chickens are raised?
In cages and stuff like that.
Well, in a big barn, and they manipulate the genetics so they grow really fast, really quick.
This isn't right though. I know I do it. My trainers are made by 5-year-old children. I don't think it's right. Just because I partake in these things doesn't mean...
I don't know if they are, but if they... I mean, they might be.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. But, I mean, if I were to slaughter a 5-year-old child and eat them, that's probably worse, right?
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you're doing the worst thing you can possibly think of to an innocent being when you eat every animal that's gone through whatever. You probably didn't even know the depths of what they went through.
Yeah, but
you're on my side here. You're on this side.
I'm closing my mind to it.
Yeah. If I'm ignorant to the cruelty I cause,
yeah,
it's actually kind of like there's nothing wrong with it.
I know what you're trying to say, but it's still, I wouldn't say it's the correct way of doing things.
Okay.
Just because it happens and I'm partaking doesn't mean I think it's right.
So why do you partake in things you think are wrong?
Because I live in a society where it's easy for me to go to Burger King and buy a burger.
They got a vegan burger in there too, you know that?
Yeah, but I'm not eating it.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Vegans are probably the most annoying people on earth.
That's because of your beliefs of animals.
Well, they annoy me all the time. They say, "Oh, this is cruel. That is cruel."
They are right, though. Objectively, they are right.
Why?
Because they care about the environment. They don't want animals to be tortured.
Well, what's annoying is they rub it in my face because they go, "Well, I don't eat it, and it's easy for me." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but just because they're annoying doesn't mean they're wrong. There's a lot of people that are annoying and they're preachy. Doesn't mean just because the way they, talk doesn't mean we just ignore what they say.
So they are.
So a religious person, these people, I don't listen to them, but I'm not going to be like, oh, what your message is.
Well, I think that they are maybe saying something that can't be proven. The annoying thing about vegans, they keep showing me this footage.
Yeah, and they're right. That's the
When
thing.
a religious person shows me a book, and I'm like, well, there's another book, and you know, which one do I choose? But the vegans, they show me this footage, and they piss me off.
The main issue I guess you have is you just don't have empathy. If you see a animal in torture, like in pain, do you feel anything?
Well,
can you not empathize?
I might feel like it's kind of annoying that I have to see that.
This is not human. This is not normal.
Like,
you can't.
Why are you inconveniencing my day right now by showing me what animals go through?
But if an animal in front of you was in pain.
Okay, how about this?
Yeah.
You want to eat meat?
Yeah.
I have an animal right here.
Yeah.
And I slice their head off. Let's just say they're begging a bit. I start hacking them the head off to make you the burger, and you can give me the 10 quid.
Okay, if you killed the animal straight.
No, I'll kill them how they get killed. So let's just say they're in a blood-filled slaughterhouse. They can see other cows hanging, you know, and I've got the gun there, and they're trying to move, and I'm like, stay still. I'm trying to kill you.
So you don't feel any
I'm trying to kill
sympathy.
this cow. No, I'm making an analogy where you are paying me to do this to the cow where the cow's in front of you. Would you still give me that 10 quid for the burger?
I mean, probably, but
bang, they're dead. You killed them.
I mean, I wouldn't want to see how my meat is made.
Why not?
Because then I'll be kind of ashamed of what I'm doing.
And would you change?
It's a good question. Would I change? If I was honest, probably not.
Why not?
Because I'm blocking, like I'm removed from the situation.
Yeah, so basically, you're saying to me, if you're detached from the situation, if you're too lazy to change, it's actually okay to be cruel to animals because, I mean, when I say okay, you're literally participating in the thing. You're causing the thing to happen. So you're actually kind of saying if you're detached, ignore, you can still commit a horrible atrocity to animals.
But that's just human to do. I can't, as a person, I can't be worrying about everything.
But annoying vegans would disagree with you.
Yeah. They don't live in the real world, I guess.
Why don't they live? Now you're on my side. Yeah, before they were right. Now when it's time for you to change, they're wrong.
So it's like every company I support probably has a shady background.
But I've not seen the footage. I've only seen the footage from my steak factory.
Yeah, but you don't know. You're buying your iPhone, how the iPhone was made. Well, it
wasn't made from slaughtering children, that's for sure.
But it's probably done from some sort of child labor or...
Maybe somewhere down the line there might be. Yeah, maybe. But then maybe some mineral
so then I
somewhere.
can just say to you, oh, you promote child labor because you have an iPhone or you have this and that.
I mean, if I was eating a hacked up piece of a child, you'd probably be able to have more evidence on that.
There's a lot of things that we don't know that corporations do.
That's appealing to ignorance. There's a lot of things we don't know, but we know what happens to my chickens.
Yeah.
You know what happens to these animals. You aren't ignorant, actually. You know when you see a chopped up animal, that animal was chopped up. Right? When you see a phone, you may, there's a lot of things that might be happening.
Like the clothes you're wearing, like they're made in factories in sweatshops and things like that. The workers are getting paid nothing. So places in Bangladesh and Pakistan, your footballs are being made.
Yeah, and where do they work? Where would they work? Would they have a job otherwise?
No, but they're not getting paid. They're probably paying 10p a day, while these things are being paid.
I wouldn't use the pound over there.
No, but my point is, they're not good.
Yeah.
They're not living wages.
Yeah, of course. And what are the wages elsewhere that aren't clothing stores? What are the wages elsewhere?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's probably the cost that similar to, but
would you reckon people work the best job that's available in their country or situation?
Yeah.
Without that job, they probably starve to death because they wouldn't have any money for anything. That's a bit different to me slaughtering innocent chickens to eat them.
Okay, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, that's why they piss me off, the vegans.
Because they're showing you the truth.
Some vegans said that exact thing to me when I pointed out his iPhone.
So you don't feel any empathy when you see, like, if an animal was in pain in front of you? Forget about the annoyance of it.
I mean, if I see something bad happen to a human, I would probably be, I do feel empathy for a human because I'm like, well, I know what that feels like. When it's animals, straight away, I'm like, well, they're not a human, so who cares?
So you can detach yourself straight up.
Just like you can detach yourself from literally torturing the animals you love.
I mean, if it was in front of me, it'd be different, innit? But
okay, what about this? I'll show you this video this vegan sent me.
I feel like a vegan has haunted you or done something to you in your life.
Yeah, they piss me off. They piss me off. All right. So which animals do you eat the most? You think?
Probably a chicken.
1 second. We'll go to the chicken section. They made it all nice for me. They don't like me that I do these tables,
The
right?
thing is, have you ever had pets?
I don't really like animals that much, but anyway, that's a hot iron. They used to cut the beaks off the chickens. So yeah, they're 6 weeks old. They grow really fast. They can't stand up because we make them like that. So just them existing is cruel. That's why I like to.
I agree with that. There's overpopulation of like
Yeah.
animals, and
Yeah. Why? Why is there so many?
because the demand is there, isn't it, for to kill these and to have them.
Yeah, because everyone wants to eat chickens
Yeah.
like me, and you. So
Yeah.
you kind of on my side.
I'm probably adding to the world as much as you are, but I guess I'm more.
Yeah, but you're a hypocrite. I'm not.
Yeah, hypocrite is probably the right word, but
Inconsistent as anyone could be.
I feel like I have more empathy than you do, and
Yeah, you're starting to sound more and more like a vegan to me, man. You have more empathy than me. You know what I mean? You're a little bit nicer than I am.
I feel bad for this, but you probably look at this as just a normal day or like a necessity. How about something like a smart animal, like something like a dolphin or maybe a monkey?
Dolphin can't make iPads, can they?
Yeah, but you think the value of something is what they can make an iPad? Or
Yeah, if
how
they can make an iPad, then I won't kill them.
But they have intelligence and they have like emotion and stuff like that. Do you not?
Well, emotion's probably different to intelligence.
Imagine they had a family or like, you know.
Yeah, but if they have a family, there's more to eat.
Okay, I can't win this.
Look at this one. They snap their necks, throw them in the bin if they're not. You know, do you eat duck sometimes? Chinese restaurant, eat a bit of duck.
Okay, so how about a monkey?
I mean, probably tastes good, like with a bit of spices.
No, but they're similar to us, are they not? Would you not say genetically?
I don't know if they've got eyes and a
can be
brain.
smart.
I mean, ducks have an eyes and a brain. Chickens have eyes and a brain. I mean, poor animals are all probably similar to each other. I mean, just intelligence.
So what you're doing, and I think a lot of people do this and they think they're right, is you're gonna see this as a compliment. It's not, but you're just applying logic. You just
logical consistency, you mean?
yeah, like
Yeah.
you're just being logical.
I mean, I've got a big inconsistency though.
Go on.
If you did something to a human, I'd think it was wrong.
But
If you did this stuff to humans,
yeah.
they're taking semen out this turkey and putting it in a female turkey to create more turkeys. Here they are throwing turkeys in a crate. If you did that to humans, I would think it was wrong.
And I would agree with you in that.
If you do it to animals, I don't think it's wrong.
One thing I would agree with you, people, they like animals too much.
They kind of what?
They like humans. They like animals too much. So if something happens to a dog, they're like, oh my god. But when it's human life, they don't value it as much.
Okay.
That's when I come to your side.
Yeah, but you know,
I would feel like
I know a vegan that doesn't even like animals. He just doesn't torment and torture them and kill them and eat them. He said, he goes, I'm not an animal person. I don't like them. And he said, I don't really like some humans, but I don't want bad things to happen to humans, you know. And he said, I do like some humans. I don't like others. And he said, I'm not really an animal person. He said, I just think that what happens to them is so bad that I shouldn't, at bare minimum, do it to them by paying the slaughterman to do it and paying the. And he said, so I was like, wow, this dude doesn't even like animals, and he still thinks he's better than me. Shining my mirror in back of my face. He's one of the reasons that I started this sign.
Bad experience with vegans and.
Yeah, that's why I started this sign actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
This is This is vengeance or.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
So what do you think? What do you think about these? This is egg industry. They mince up the males because they don't actually lay eggs.
Okay.
So on the first day of life, they separate the females and males, drop them into a
Obviously,
mincer.
I think this is all wrong, but it won't be enough for me to.
Who cares? Stop eating eggs then if you think it's.
that's what I'm
Stop eating eggs, man.
But I'm telling you, I know there's bad stuff from everything.
They ain't dropping baby like human children into grinders like that for your iPhone. But they do it for eggs. Like you eat an egg and it's gone in 1 second.
Yeah, but my argument with you, I don't see chicken life as important as probably human life. But I still.
Then we're on the same page.
I still don't think it's right though.
So you don't think they're as important as humans, but you don't think it's right to treat them like they're a sack of potatoes or chop them up, put them in the frying pan. So wouldn't you die without meat?
I don't think that's but
you would die without meat, man.
I think there's ways to make it better. Like
Your body
free
will
range.
start eating itself if you don't eat meat. Like you'll start
But
shriveling up and dying.
vegans exist. As annoying as you find them, they're not dying in the streets. You don't find them, like
Well,
dead in the streets.
I don't know, maybe they might start in a few decades. Maybe they'll all start just dropping dead at once.
Yeah, well, I mean, the proof we have so far, and there are countries that are like, they just eat vegetables, Hindus and stuff. They're
true, the vegetarian,
they're
true.
vegetarian
Some Jains don't even eat. Yeah, I get you.
onions. So like,
So what's your excuse then?
I guess the way I'm raised, and I think most people in society have been raised with like, you see meat as a protein in your food. If I was to grow up as a vegan, I think I would probably stay as a vegan.
Oh, really?
But-
So unless you grew up as a vegan, then
No, but-
everyone else has got the excuse they never have to be a vegan.
No.
Because no one grew up as a
No,
vegan.
but obviously, I don't.
There's probably 2 people in the UK that grew up as a vegan.
But like, I don't like.
You know what they're doing
enough, I don't care enough of this to change my lifestyle.
Yeah.
I know it's wrong.
Do you think they care? These animals?
Yeah, and it's wrong.
Did they care?
The animals care. Look,
Do
he's
you
in
think that
pain.
sheep thinks that's wrong?
I mean, he doesn't know the concept of.
But does that baby doesn't either, human baby? But so it's okay to.
No, I'm not saying this is
Okay.
right.
Okay. So my question to you is: do the animals think your excuse is good enough?
I think animals don't understand the concept of right and wrong.
No, but if they did, do you think they would think your excuse is good enough?
No.
Okay. That's wool.
Yeah.
Wool industry.
And you watching this,
Yeah.
you find this perfectly fine.
Well, if I did find it wrong, I would be
No,
probably have to change.
Can you see in a human way why this is not right?
If they were humans, I would think it was
No, but
instantly
you
wrong.
understand why someone would not like to look at this.
I would think they're an annoying hypocrite who should change
No,
their
but
ways before they even
We're
speak.
hypocrites by nature. Just
No,
because we're
not in this word. Nowhere.
We are hypocrites.
Okay, but when do you ever see
Hmm.
Jeffrey Dahmer going around saying, "I cared about my victims so much, I cut their head off and put it in the freezer"? When do you ever see serial killers going around saying, "I love humans so much that I shoot them in the head and eat their body"? When do you ever see that? Meat eaters do it all the time. I don't think there's ever been a bigger hypocrite than a preachy meat eater.
I mean, okay.
Think about it.
And if
If
you're
you
me,
can find me one, if you can
Yeah.
find me a bigger hypocrite that say they care about animals, but do the worst possible thing in the world to animals. This is the worst thing that happens to animals because there's like trillions of them that we're killing.
I think most meters, they just shield themselves from this.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, can you find a bigger example of direct hypocrisy than saying you care about these animals as we're doing the most objectively horrific thing you could possibly do to them?
I would say this is wrong to do. I think there is a way to have meat where it's, free range and stuff
Let's
like
talk
that.
about it. Let's talk about it.
But that,
Free range meat. So if you're free ranging,
yeah,
if you give them a little bit of grass,
yeah.
then I can kill them, all right?
Kill them in a non-torturous way.
Well, what is that?
What?
Which way is that?
Stunning them and I guess cutting the head off
So what with
with
a gun?
The gun, yeah.
Shoot them in the head with a gun?
With the staple gun, whatever it's called.
Yeah, like one of these
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
right? Cool. So if I give them a bit of grass, I can shoot them in the head,
No,
right?
but the issue here is these people are like, they're putting them in cages, not good living conditions. I think there's a difference between torturing and killing.
Why is it? Why are they wrong? Why is
they're
torture wrong? Why is torture wrong?
Because you're giving pain to an animal that's not necessary.
But do you think the animal matters?
I mean, the animal doesn't have to be born or like.
No, does the animal matter?
Well,
If they don't matter to kill them, then why do they matter to torture them?
Because it's like because you're giving them pain.
Yeah, but you're taking their
So like,
existence
if
away
I
from them
were
when you kill
to
them.
kidnap someone, hypothetical,
Yeah.
bro, I would be less of a human if I was torturing the person before I killed them than to kill them straight away.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Would you prefer I tortured you for 20 minutes and let you live for the rest of your life
Yeah.
and experience happiness and the richness of life? Or would you prefer I didn't torture you and killed you right now and you didn't get to experience the richness of life?
But that's not what's happening.
No, I'm asking you a question. No,
Obviously,
you cannot do that. You have to answer the
I
hypothetical.
prefer to be tortured than let go, obviously.
Okay, so therefore killing is worse than torture in that scenario.
In that scenario, because I'm
Okay,
living.
so torture isn't actually worse than killing.
But
Sometimes it could be, I
Sometimes
agree.
it is, yeah.
Okay, so an animal would rather live.
Yeah.
Because do you know why I said that?
Yeah.
Because you said if you give them grass and treat them nicely and kill them in the right way,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's the worst thing you could possibly do.
Why?
Because they don't get to experience. Well, why is it wrong to murder you, and not wrong to torture you?
Wait,
Not as wrong. In the scenario I posed before, you said it would be worse.
No,
to
but
kill you.
animals don't have that kind of. I wouldn't say they have that long-term memory. Where so like.
Okay, so it's okay if a baby like doesn't have like a long-term memory, or if let's just say an adult human didn't have long-term memory.
You got your mates there.
Yes, Team Carnivore.
My friends are saying that I should
You
be.
should go. All right. So I hope that you.
No,
honestly,
my
you're still on this side.
I'm still on my middle.
Okay. Well, here's if you ever do change your mind, and feel like you want to one day, stop being a hypocrite, then you can.
Exactly how you put it. Okay, alright. Thank you.
If you ever feel like not being a hypocrite one day, you can do it by scanning that. It's a link to a vegan challenge. Obviously. Sorry?
What is this thing?
What is this?
Oh, it's a YouTube channel.
It's my first day of my first channel, and you're one of the first people.
Oh, what's your YouTube channel? Is it on this?
It's going to be called Carnivores
Carnivore.
Are the Best.
Okay. Your show.
He got the feeling I was trolling there. I don't know what he's talking about, but look, maybe something is going to get through to him. I don't think me telling him I was a vegan was going to get through to him. I just gave him the card with the vegan link on there. It'll all come together in the end for him, I'm sure. It's one of those things that later on you start thinking about it and go, oh, that guy was a vegan, But obviously these videos are made for the audience to see what's going on inside their mind. And hopefully he scans that link and,